He grew up in a world carved by fences and laws, a world that told him, these are your people, not those. This is your side, not theirs. But with a broken hand, a hand remade of steel and pins, a bionic fist, he split that wide open. He became a bridge, an unlikely hero forged from fractured bone. Not just a boxer, but a man who showed that sometimes the hardest blows don't land inside the ropes, but against the walls a country builds within itself. Gerrie Coetzee was born on April 8, 1955, in Boksburg, South Africa, a town scorched by heat and choked with the metallic dust of gold and uranium mines. The Coetzees were poor whites, living closer to apartheid's raw edge than the families tucked behind hedges and high walls in Johannesburg's white-only suburbs.
If I thought of apartheid as a kid, I suppose I just thought it was the true way of the world. The way God had designed things. South Africa was and still is a long way from anywhere else. How could I compare things? Anyway, I guess I was just a little boy who liked rugby at school, just an ordinary kid who liked rugby.
Ordinary maybe, but his father had other ideas. By the time Harry was 10, the backyard had been converted into a crude boxing gym. By 13, he had already flattened a grown man in a sparring session. Coetzee himself wasn't sure if he liked the sport, but his father had already decided for him. The results spoke loudly. By 18, the kid nicknamed the Boksburg Bomber had lost only 6 of 190 amateur bouts. After a compulsory year in the army and a stint as a dental technician, he turned professional in September of 1974. He quickly made waves by winning the white South African heavyweight title against Jimmy Richards, before stepping up against American journeyman Ron Stander in 1976. The Johannesburg press crowned him the White Muhammad Ali. Coetzee boxed on his toes, flicked a jab, in homage to his idol. He beat hometown favorites Mike Scuda and Gerrie Coetzee, then signed on to face James Mathatho in a unification match. Coetzee held the white title, Mathatho held the non-white. The stakes weren't just belts. It was the first attempt to bridge apartheid's racial divide in South Africa's heavyweight crown. The fight came with a price. In the very first round, Coetzee broke his right hand. He returned to the corner, told his father he couldn't go on, asked him to stop it. The old man sent him back out. Round after round, Harry kept firing that ruined hand, until in the 7th, he used his left on Mathatho's jaw. Mathatho didn't get up, but neither did Coetzee. He staggered to his corner, clutching his mangled fist, and spat out the words that had been building since childhood. "Dad, your pride has ruined my career." His father didn't flinch. "No, son," he said, "my pride has made your career." Coetzee's right hand became a curse wrapped in tape. He broke it again in a rematch against Mike Scuda. Every right cross shattered like glass. But Coetzee didn't stop. He won his next 3 fights, throwing almost nothing but lefts. He'd throw his right hand wide, missing by a mile, just to sell the illusion that it was still in play. A poker player's bluff, only this one came with broken bones. Eventually, the officials caught on. After a bout with Randy Stevens, they yanked his license, suspending him for hiding the injury. By then, the hand was more myth than weapon. One doctor told him the problem was all in his head, that he was imagining the pain. Another told him the exact opposite, that without radical surgery, his fist would curl up into a permanent claw, useless for fighting, maybe even for holding a fork. The fix they offered sounded more like science fiction than medicine. Cut out the bones in the back of his hand, jam steel pins in their place, and fuse the thing together. The downside was that if it failed, he might not have a hand at all. That scared Coetzee, so he tried everything else first. Acupuncture, old folk remedies, even visiting a witch doctor.
We met a voodoo doctor after a 12-hour drive into the jungle. He threw around animal bones, prayed, and talked in different languages. I felt was wasting my time, but I didn't want to insult the guy.
Eventually, with nowhere else to go, Coetzee submitted to the experimental hand fusion surgery. Months later, he was back. Not fixed exactly, more rebuilt. The South African heavyweight now had kind of a bionic hand, and he wasn't shy about testing it. Months earlier, there was talk of a fight with Muhammad Ali. Coetzee found himself in Ali's hotel suite before the champ's bout with Ernie Shavers.
Ali was talking to us nicely until a German sportscaster came in with his television crew. Then Ali jumped up. "See this kid? He's a South African heavyweight champion, and I'm gonna kill him. I'm gonna send him to the moon. I'm so fast, I'm so smart." Then he turned to me and put up a flat hand. He said, "Hit this. Let's see what you got." I threw a jab, but he dropped his hand and I missed. See that? His wife could do better. Then, as soon as the TV people left, he was nice again and poured us some tea.
There was also talk of a bout with a comebacking Joe Frazier. Like the Ali match, it fizzled, but when Leon Spinks, former heavyweight champion of the world, rolled into the picture, Coetzee finally had his stage.
Spinks comes right out as you predicted, on the attack. Definitely in the action, and he's doing what he has to do. Coetzee terribly wild on those right hands, and we have not seen that lateral quickness of foot that we were promised from the South Africans. For the gold trim, Leon Spinks, United States on the right. He came out as if he was looking for a quick knockout. He kind of reminded me of the way he went after Bobic. Leon definitely pulls his shot. Spinks goes down for the first time as a pro. He's hit and wobbly. Leon Spinks up at the count of 6, 7, 8. And right back comes Coetzee. Another good right hand. Second time, 3 knockouts. Rule will be observed in this championship fight, elimination championship fight. Spinks, if he goes down again, it's all over. He cannot be saved by the bell. It's all over. Amazing upset. Gerrie Coetzee of South Africa has knocked out Leon Spinks in the first round. Leon Spinks never down as a pro. And what was it that got him in trouble first? What was your first big punch?
I think it was the right hand.
Were you surprised when he came out at the opening bell with that left and right flurry?
I was expecting that because Leon always comes out fast.
Did you think that you would be able to handle him this easily?
No, I didn't expect that, but I knew I was in great shape and I worked hard for this.
It's the biggest win of your career. Obviously, your countryman lost to John Tate, the American by knockout, and it means that you now probably will meet John Tate for the WBA Heavyweight Championship. What are your feelings?
I'm looking forward to that fight. First, what I want to say, I want to thank Leon Spinks and Mr. Bob Adams for giving me the opportunity to fight against Leon Spinks, because if I was allowed in the Olympic Games, I would have been the gold medal there. So I am really, and I mean it out of the deep of my heart, that I'm thankful for Leon Spinks giving me this opportunity to show to myself, to the world, that I'm going to be the best heavyweight.
All right, congratulations, Gerrie Coetzee.
Like his idol Muhammad Ali, Coetzee took up the practice of taunting his opponents. Against Leon Spinks, the act worked to perfection. After Spinks landed a sharp right in the opening round, Coetzee smirked and asked, "Is that your best? It's not enough." Spinks laughed, then hit the canvas. That knockout paved the way for his first crack at the heavyweight crown. 4 months later, Coetzee stepped in against Big John Tate. South Africa was ready to crown him king. 86,000 fans packed the stadium, the second largest gate in boxing history, a wall of sound behind the Boksburg bomber. Adding to the theater was Farouk Khan, Coetzee's version of Bundini Brown. Khan strutted into press conferences in a shirt that read, "Come one, come all, come see John Tate fall." But outside the ropes, the fight was controversial. American civil rights groups condemned the idea of a title fight in apartheid South Africa. The political weight was heavy, though neither fighter carried it into the ring. From the opening bell, Coetzee pressed the attack, taunting Tate between punches. "I'm going to knock you out. I'll get you next round." For 3 rounds, it looked possible. He even buckled Tate's knees with a booming right. But by the 7th, the American had flipped the script. Tate had the momentum, the jab, and eventually, the fight. "I'll get you next round," Coetzee kept saying. Finally, Tate shot back. "Hey, you running out of rounds, ain't you, boy?" Tate walked away with a clear decision. In the dressing room, Coetzee sat depressed.
Maybe the Lord just didn't want me to be champion. I don't know. I'm feeling bad. I really wanted to be the next world champion. I just didn't make it.
6 months later, he came roaring back, flattening Mike Korenicki in a single round. The win earned him another shot, this time at Mike Weaver, who had stunned the boxing world by knocking out Tate in a come-from-behind classic. Once again, South Africa filled every seat in the arena. Once again, Coetzee carried the hopes of a nation into the ring.
Foot ring. It's been slippery through the preliminary fights. They have a lot of rosin in there to try and make it a little bit better and less slippery. And, of course, Gil and Angelo will be keeping an eye on that as we go along. Coetzee in the blue trunks with an orange stripe, expected to come out quickly. The champion in black trunks.
Tim, I think we have to watch this first round carefully. Both fighters were kept waiting in the ring for at least 5 minutes. That means one of them could have cooled off and could get nailed and get what we caught cold.
In kilos. Mike Weaver came in at 210 pounds, and Weaver on the attack, but counterpunching is Weaver. Coetzee weighed in at 226 1/4. He stands 6'3", Mike Weaver 6'1". They have reach that is almost identical, despite the fact Coetzee is taller.
Tim, you mentioned that Weaver looks relaxed. That's always been his problem, whether it's relaxation or just being lethargic or something else.
Good combination by Coetzee, and he landed that overhand right in another. And another right hand got through. The crowd of 16,000, some of them coming to their feet here in support of Coetzee.
Both of them are throwing those big bombs.
Under a minute to go in the first round.
Mike Weaver's blinking. I don't know why. Both eyes. Can't understand it. He's blinking with both eyes.
And water running heavily from those eyes. Whether he got thumbed or got something in them, we don't know.
Well, he can't be laying on the ropes like that, Tim. That's a real dangerous spot.
There's that big right hand. Big right hand by Coetzee.
Less than 30 seconds to go in round one. Tremendous flurry in this first round by Gerrie Coetzee, the challenger. That well-known overhand right. You heard Weaver say he was expecting it. He'd try to stay out of the way of it. Well, he has been nailed with it.
I'll tell you, Coetzee is really fighting a smart, cute fight in there. And Weaver nailed him with 2 Sunday punches and didn't budge him.
Closing seconds of round number one. Good counter punch by Weaver. Sent Coetzee back, but Coetzee rebound.
Coetzee really landed some Sunday punches right there.
Don Manuel told me, he says, Mike Weaver's a lazy fighter. He said, but if you hit him, then it brings out the best in him. Let's see what happens.
Don Manuel, the manager of the champion Mike Weaver, trained by Ray Barnes. Coetzee managed by Hal Tucker, trained by Alan Tawil. He's lost only once, and that was to the champion, John Tate, in a listless display that went 15 rounds. He's not listless here. Weaver now counter-punching and landing.
That's what Don Manuel said. He said, you hit me like Mike Weaver and you wake him up. He woke up just then. He better stay awake, though, in this fight.
I'll tell you, Mike Weaver is taking some real good shots from Coetzee. And always the weight is evident, the way Coetzee locks him on the ropes.
You mentioned that 16-pound weight advantage, and he has been using it. Weaver's corner saying, back him up. Use the right hand on him.
I don't think Coetzee is too confident of his stamina, though, Tim, because after he throws a flurry, every once in a while he walks away and takes a big, deep breath.
Coetzee right in Weaver's corner, lands a good left. Big flurry by Coetzee, but one good punch, and now talking to Weaver.
Coetzee is talking to him, but I don't think he can understand him, Weaver.
Well, if he's speaking in Afrikaans, he sure can't understand him. Harry does speak English.
Weaver just landed two real good shots where Coetzee lives, and they really had some effect on the guy. Now Coetzee is blinking.
Well, the liniment factor, it may be called when this fight is over, if indeed you gentlemen are correct in your assessment. Something on the body of
Coetzee is definitely hurt.
Yes, he is.
With a body shot.
Body shot, he's also rubbing his eyes, so he's got some of the same stuff
Tim,
in his eyes.
That's what I pointed out before. The stuff from his body gets on Weaver's gloves, and then he gets in it to Coetzee's eyes. It's very bad for both of them.
Tim, do you check his back? See, it's off the front of him, but it's on his back. And that's where all the liniment is, all over his body.
Under a minute to go.
Big left hook by Coetzee, a counter-punch left hook. And using his shoulder in the meanwhile.
Right hand lead from Coetzee landed. Weaver missed with a right, now lands one.
Landed a big left hook underneath Weaver.
Body shots is what's doing it to Coetzee. He's definitely getting hurt down the middle, and our boy Weaver's got a cut on the bridge of his nose.
Right between the eyes on the bridge of his nose.
You know, it's amazing how well Don Manuel knows his fighter. He said, watch out. He said, anytime Mike Weaver gets hit a good punch, that's when he really goes to it. And boy, he sure has come back anytime he got hit hard.
Gil Clancy with Angelo Dundee and Tim Ryan here ringside.
Legs don't even look too good to me right now.
Flurry by Coetzee, response from Weaver.
Body shots are really burning him in half. Coetzee is really getting hurt with the body shot.
Weaver planned to go to the body. He thought that would slow down Coetzee as the fight went on. He's sticking to his plan.
It's amazing with being a champion, what a difference it makes in a fighter.
Round number 8, and Alan Tawil, Coetzee's trainer between rounds, exhorting him to jab more, jab more.
Yeah, he told him you can win this fight on points.
This is the 8th round scheduled for 15, and it's a little warmer in here now than it was earlier. Temperatures in the high 70s, and this stadium is open, remember. It has a roof on it, keeping the hot African sun off.
Big left hook by Weaver. Big left hook. One of them has to get a hold of himself and start the
right hand rocks Weaver. Coetzee rocks him with that right hand. Crowd coming to its feet here. Weaver looks like he's just trying to get himself back together. Doesn't appear to be real hurt. And he was rocked with a good right hand.
Remarkable the way Weaver took that right hand. That was a Sunday, and he took it right in the butt, and he came back, and he took some punches.
Coetzee got one more through the upraised gloves of Weaver, but most of the others were blocked.
If Weaver survives this may take more out of Coetzee than it does out of Weaver.
It's already taken it out of him, Gil.
They'll all hang out now, and Weaver, believe me, is still in front. Weaver's telling him to come on. Look at this. No science.
Weaver must sense that Coetzee is going to wear himself out.
Look at him grabbing the ropes. Look at him grab it. Ridiculous.
Under a minute to go in the 8th round. Weaver just resting. That's clear. Coetzee trying to get that big one in again. Overhand right from Weaver landed.
That hurt Coetzee. That hurt Coetzee. If he ever pulls him out of there and he lands another shot, it might be the whole ball game.
Under 30 seconds to go in round 8. The crowd aroused here. 16,000 strong. Looking for only the 3rd South African world champion ever. Coetzee on the attack again in the final seconds of the 8th round. We'll return to South Africa after this word from your local station. Under 30 seconds here in the 10th round, and a left from Coetzee landed. Weaver came back with a right hand. Again, Coetzee using Weaver as a pillow against the ropes. Closing seconds, we're approaching the end of round number 10.
Neutral. There hasn't been too much cheering for Coetzee. When he does anything big, they're very, very quiet. I guess they're waiting for something.
Oh, what a left to the body from Weaver, and a left up top after it.
A left hook broke Coetzee's nose.
There's blood on the face, and he's got him hurt. He's got him hurt. Weaver pounding away at Coetzee. Tremendous left to the body, and then a left to the head, and Coetzee manages to tie him up on the ropes. The best flurry of the fight for Weaver by far.
Referee took a good look at Coetzee's nose.
Coetzee just pulled him into the rope.
Trying to throw him out of the ring.
See, Tim, these ropes are very old ropes. They have them tightened like a drum. But the lights have made them bigger, and they stretched them. That's why whenever they go against the rope, you see them bend over.
They're also a little low for heavyweights, too.
Yeah, it's only a 3-strand rope. I think they ought to change that rule.
Lots of blood around the nose of Coetzee, but Weaver's been unable to follow up on that first big flurry that rocked Coetzee early in the round. This is the 11th round.
Coetzee is using his legs a little bit now, trying to snap a jab out there. That may be the right thing to do with a tired fighter.
There's a Panamanian judge, a Danish judge, and a Venezuelan referee. The bell for round number 13. And it's important now for Mike Weaver to finish strongly. As we see it, it's very close.
Well, Mike is coming now. He's coming at a faster pace now, moving his hands a little more.
Had over 200 amateur fights. Another good right hand from Weaver.
Mike is really coming now, full of confidence. Got his second win coming on pretty good.
Right landed from Weaver, and down goes Coetzee. Tremendous right hand. Mike Weaver, the champion, and Coetzee now trying to get up, is going to not make it. I do not believe it is all over. He did not get up, and Mike Weaver, with a 13th round knockout, has defended his WBA championship.
Coetzee admitted Weaver was the better man after the bout. To him, the title had transformed Weaver, hardened him, the belt itself giving his opponent an edge he didn't expect. If the fight lacked the political spotlight of the Tate Showdown, South Africa still simmered with tension. In Sun City, 3 black South Africans were killed while celebrating Weaver's victory, proof that even boxing couldn't escape the country's turmoil. Back inside the ropes, Weaver's cutman, Johnny Toko, couldn't believe the chaos in the opposite corner. Blood poured from Harry's nose as his father and longtime trainer, Alan Tawil, fumbled around. He should fire his trainer, his father, and his cutman, Toko said afterward. For Coetzee, the loss was crushing.
I was so confident I'd win, and then when I went down and couldn't get up, I couldn't believe it. I saw the punch coming. I saw the crowd clearly when I was down. I heard the referee counting, but my legs just wouldn't respond. It haunted me. I couldn't sleep for the next 3 nights. I kept replaying that scene in my mind.
Coetzee returned to the gym, half-hearted, until a surprising ally came along. Randy Stevens, the American contender who'd once shared a ring with him. Stevens became a house guest, sparring partner, and confidant, helping to put the South African's mind back in the fight game. 5 months later, Coetzee faced George Chaplin, who held a day job as an orthopedic technician. "I think he makes false legs and false hands," Coetzee said. Maybe he'll need a false head after the fight. The fight itself was dull early, but Coetzee dominated late and took a clear decision. The win put him back in the conversation, but WBC champion Larry Holmes made it clear, as long as apartheid stood, he wouldn't face Coetzee. That left Coetzee to be matched with rising contender Ronaldo Snipes. Coetzee seized the opportunity. He dropped Snipes in the 1st and 4th rounds, hammered him through the middle frames, and staggered him again in the 10th. But when the decision was read, it was Snipes' hand raised. The crowd erupted in fury, pelting the ring with popcorn, ice, and anything else within reach. Snipes got the shot at Holmes. Coetzee got nothing, except respect. To most observers, he'd been robbed. Coetzee then reshuffled the deck. New manager, Coty van Heerden, a newspaperman from South Africa. New trainer, Willie Locke. New training ground, New Jersey, where American heavyweights filled the gyms. For Coetzee, the road was longer than he wanted, harder than he expected. But the crown, the heavyweight title, was still out there, somewhere in the distance. For years, Coetzee chased the heavyweight crown, and in the distance was always Larry Holmes. The South African wanted the fight badly, but Holmes never budged. The champion drew a line in the sand. Renounce your country, and then we'll talk. The coldness wasn't just in press releases. One night, with both fighters sitting ringside at the Trevor Berbick vs. Ronaldo Snipes bout, Coetzee sent word through his rep, Cedric Kushner. Would Holmes honor him with a handshake? The message came back, one word, flat and final: no. I am bitterly disappointed in Holmes, Coetzee said afterward. I have to wonder what Larry would have done if I'd been a black South African. Would he have still rejected me? Holmes stayed out of reach while Coetzee kept pounding on the door with his bionic fist. He crushed Leroy Caldwell, steamrolled Scott Ledoux, and sent Stan Ward packing before any of them could hear the final bell. But the WBC wanted no part of him, a ghost in their rankings because of his country's apartheid policies. So he fought on, gambling his number 4 WBA ranking against the unbeaten Pinklon Thomas. The fight was a bruising, bloody affair that ended in a draw. Coetzee's stubborn grit was finally rewarded with a third crack at the WBA crown, this time against Michael Dokes, the newly minted champion. On paper, Dokes looked like a bad matchup for Coetzee. Fast hands, sharp instincts, and a powerful left hook. But outside the ropes, the whispers grew louder. Dokes had too many nights out, too much talent lost to addiction. Oddsmakers still made Dokes a heavy favorite, 5-1 over Coetzee. Harry had brought in LA-based trainer Jackie McCoy to assist in his corner, with no plans to watch things slip away for a third time.
Round 1, and Dokes does not charge, and Coetzee comes out quickly. Center of the ring. That's 1 for Larry Merchant.
Both men are tight, and it's going to take a round or so, if it goes that long, before they loosen up. And in the first round, when two fighters are tight, anything can happen. You can expect an early knockdown to his right. You'll notice Michael Dokes will move to his left. Shorten the ring up. Get closer.
A round where both men feeling each other out. The left hand scored. The first 2 missed. The Dokes come back with a left hand of his own. End of round 1. Interesting round I've seen Gerrie Coetzee be. He also seems to be conserving himself a little bit, which is something he had done. Good left hand. Dokes was hurt.
Dokes needs to get out of that corner. He should keep it staying in the center of the ring. Because Coetzee now is trying to load up. He's throwing bombs, overhand rights.
And a right hand by Coetzee, back with a left.
You see his speed. Keeping Coetzee in the center of the ring. Box him.
Dokes getting the better of that.
What's also, I think, is creating somewhat a little of a slight problem for Michael Dokes is just the slight difference in height. What to do is to throw his punches, and then after he's finished throwing his series of combination, he's going to come back. And you notice Dokes always throws punches. He throws left hook to the body, left hook to the head.
A good right hand, and Dokes is down. Flush on the side of the face. Dokes does not appear to be hurt. He'll take the 8 count.
It was more of a flash knockdown, but it was a beautiful right hand by Gerrie Coetzee. Now watch Coetzee go back to the body and up to the head. Watch for the overhand right again. The left hook by Coetzee just landed.
Dokes does not appear to be hurt. We must point out that right hand a little bit short. good left-hand counter punch by Dokes.
Dokes is a little dazed now. That right hand is starting to land. And you see what's happening, bro, is the fact that Coetzee is trying to land a right hand. When it doesn't land, Michael Dokes is able to connect with the good left hook.
Just the simple fact that he managed to knock Michael Dokes down, which has not happened in his professional career, as Dokes comes back in a hard round.
Gerrie Coetzee could also be a little arm weary, and now he's starting to telegraph his punches. You see that, he's starting to miss.
Dokes has got himself in trouble on the ropes.
Watch the right hand, once again to the body.
Crowd very much alive, but remember, it's a pro-Dokes crowd. And so it could... And another good right hand, and that might have hurt Dokes.
Dokes is hurt now. Just then, that combination there, whoever had landed would have been on the canvas, for sure.
And there was your uppercut also, Ray.
Now watch the right hand again.
A left hand.
Now watch the uppercut. Oh, there should be an uppercut. That's the uppercut there. Now we should see a right hand by Gerrie Coetzee, because now he's still a little arm weary, and Dokes is definitely fatigued now.
Dokes is. He's also a little bit rubber-legged.
He's blowing, and now his arms, he's not punching anymore. Watch the right hand.
A left hand bouncing off the rope. Right hand to the ribs, right hand to the face by Coetzee. Left hook by Coetzee, and once more, Dokes had his legs wobble, and a right hand behind that.
You see what's happening, the mistake. They're exchanging blow for blow.
That punch was short by Dokes.
Now Coetzee here appears
Dokes is going to have to go to war to save his championship.
Did you detect, Larry, a little bit of note of concern in the corner for the first time?
Well, if they aren't concerned, there's something wrong with their eyesight.
This is the 10th round.
Once again, Michael Dokes is drenched with water, which proves fatigue has set in on the fighter and trying to bring him back to life.
I didn't really mean so much concern implied as...
All Gerrie Coetzee wants to do is let the left jab touch.
Scored with a hard right hand.
And he knows that right hand will follow, just like he did there. Dokes needs to move, keep this man in the center of the ring, or we're going to see this the rest of the fight, or if it should go that long.
Blood now slightly from the corner of Coetzee's eye once more, but it is alongside the eye, and it has not really bled in his eye.
And now we're seeing body shots again. Dokes seems to be a little hurt. He's wobbly now. He's wobbling. His legs are buckled.
And there's a solid right hand by Coetzee, and Dokes is in serious trouble.
Now, Dokes is seriously injured.
Dokes is out on his feet here if Coetzee could finish him off.
Coetzee just can't get wild. Just take his time and he can get his man out of there.
Dokes holding on.
He's doing the right thing, Barry. Hold on, clear his head.
15 seconds remaining in this round, and Coetzee is on him. Backhands a right hand. Dokes is out on his feet, but may get through the round.
I doubt it very seriously.
And he's down, and this could be it. Cannot be saved by the bell.
That's it.
He cannot be saved by the bell. It's over, and we have a new WBA Heavyweight Champion of the world, and I might add it was well-deserved tonight.
It was a very strategic fight by Gerrie Coetzee. Michael Dokes, I don't know what was wrong, but the fact he laid back and he did just the opposite of what Bobby Lewis was telling him. Don't move straight back. Gerrie Coetzee was measuring him with that left jab and set him up for the right hand, put Dokes down, hurt him, and stayed on top of him.
The other side of the coin, of course, is you look at a man who is not the loser, folks. That is the winner and new champion, deliriously happy. But for all that Michael Dokes did wrong, Ray, Gerrie Coetzee did right.
Exactly, Barry.
And I mean, they got to be going crazy in South Africa. There was no question about it. It wasn't only the knockout. It was a man in control of this fight almost from the opening bell.
It was a very scientifically thought.
What are your feelings at this moment, Gerrie?
I can just think of Mr. Don King giving me this opportunity. I don't realize what happened to me tonight. Really, I want to praise the Lord. I promised him that I want to thank him. I want to thank Mr. King.
You seemed from the very start more relaxed and confident than we've ever seen you in your previous 2 championship fights. Was that true?
I was very relaxed because I knew my hands are solid. It's okay. I worked hard, fighting tight. I didn't realize what a world title meant, and I didn't have a family. I love my family, and I've done it for them as well tonight.
Were you concerned that Dokes would rush to you early in the fight as he did to Weaver? Were you ready for anything?
Yes. I thought he's going to come quick at me. I want to thank Michael for giving me this opportunity so quick. But the first time I hit him with the right, I saw the expression on his face that he's been hit. My corner was telling me, go to whip, but I knew Mark is getting tired. I worked hard, and it's got to come.
What about the cut on your right eye? From this angle, it looks like a very nasty cut. How concerned were you about it?
Thank you. I was worried about that, especially in the 3rd and 4th round. I couldn't see well. But Jackie McCoy, Willie Locke, my dad, Cedric Kushner, this man over here, I've got to take the whole night to thank everybody, but I think these 2 persons were the greatest.
Were you surprised that he didn't work on your eye more than he did?
I knew if he's got to go open with the left, I'm going to hit him with the cross right.
So you're saying that because you got the respect from him of landing the right early in the fight, he was afraid to throw too many lefts at that damaged eye?
Yeah, but I hit him in the body bad shots as well. He didn't know where to block, to the body or to the head.
You showed none of the fatigue that we've seen in the past in the middle of the fight. Was that
I'm
why
training
was that?
in America. I'm working in America. America is a great, great country. The people are sports people. And I want to thank the American people for all their support. And I want to thank the South African people coming to see me, have a lot of faith in me.
What about Jackie McCoy? What has he done for you over the last few weeks that you hadn't had before?
He improved my left hand tremendously. The left hook, that's where I really shook Dokes as well. And that's the one I think that set him up for the right.
What kind of a champion do you want to be, Gerrie Coetzee?
I want, honestly, be the people's champ.
What does that mean?
I want to be everybody's champ. I don't want to be a specific person's champ. I want to be the world champ.
You're saying you don't want to be just the champion of South Africa or white people, but also of black people and everyone.
Everybody. There's a saying, if your country is right, if they are wrong, it's your country. You can't throw them away, you still love them. But I really love America, and I love Mr. King for giving me this chance. I never believed that he's going to give me this opportunity. Thank you, Mr. King.
Do you want to fight Larry Holmes now and unify the title? That would be an immense fight right now.
Larry, have we got time to can I tell you something?
Sure.
I was at Atlantic City when Snipes fought Berbick, and I wanted to meet him, but we'll talk later about that. I'm looking forward to it.
You're saying that you're not very fond of Larry Holmes.
No, not at all.
Thank you very much for a great fight, Gerrie Coetzee.
The underdog from South Africa finally delivered. With the WBA belt around his waist, Coetzee got what he thought he wanted, Holmes' attention. Contracts were signed, a June 1984 date circled. The payday was supposed to be $3.5 million, but the money never showed. JPD Productions, a Dallas outfit with big promises and shallow pockets, couldn't finance the fight. Coetzee demanded more. Holmes waited. The deal collapsed. Coetzee moved on, but not forward. December of 1984 was supposed to be the South African's chance to build on the Dokes win, to cement his place among the heavyweight elite. The opponent was set, David Bay, an unbeaten American with a title shot on the table and $750,000 in his pocket if he said yes. Bay said no, not to the money, not even to the opportunity. He turned it down cold, unwilling to participate in a fight staged under the shadow of South Africa's apartheid system. That left Greg Page, a gifted but erratic contender, to fill the void, but he was experienced enough to exploit an opening. When the bell rang for the second round, Page saw Coetzee's corner in chaos and charged across the ring. From there, Coetzee fought in a dazed fury, flailing with wild haymakers, burning up his stamina. Gone was the disciplined strategy that had carried him past Michael Dokes. By the end of the sixth, Page was piling it on, even dropping Coetzee after the bell. He never let up. In the seventh, the South African was wilting, and in the eighth, a round stretched past the 3-minute limit thanks to a distracted timekeeper. Page poured it on, battering Coetzee into defeat with a knockout that felt as inevitable as it was ugly. Coetzee disappeared for 10 months before returning to face gatekeeper James Quick Tillis. He won on points over 10 rounds, but the fight told its own truth. The man with the bionic hand was now 10 to 15 pounds heavier than his best fighting weight. The jab didn't snap like it once did. The right hand, the rebuilt weapon that had carried him through Dokes, looked less like a hammer, more like a memory. The writing was on the wall, and everyone could read it when he visited England to take on Frank Bruno.
What a welcome Bruno got tonight. The biggest reception he's ever had in his life as he came to the ring to face this giant South African, Gerrie Coetzee, the former heavyweight champion of the world. One man looking for the comeback road, the other man looking for the glory that comes with going for the big one. Bruno, one fight, perhaps only one punch away from a crack. And the world title, the right's got him. Inside a minute, he's got him. One right hand from the blue, the cool Bruno. Coetzee, perhaps hit as hard as he's ever been hit. 1 minute gone. Now he might be dangerous. Bruno mustn't get careless. Coetzee's cut underneath the left eye has been cut many times in recent fights, and he's cut again. What a start by Bruno. 55 seconds. A right hand and another. Surely he can't get it over inside a round. Coetzee's only been stopped twice. He's got him again. He won't get up from that. He's stretched out over the photographers. He'll never make it. He's out, and Bruno is on his way.
The loss cut deeper than the ones before as Coetzee wondered aloud if he had anything left. He retired, declaring that he wouldn't be a stepping stone for younger fighters. But a year later, he tried to come back. James Broad was lined up as the opponent in February of 1987, but politics reared its head again. Broad read about a black South African student barred from a track meet and refused to fight. Once again, Coetzee was left stranded without an opponent. After a few months, he officially announced his retirement in 1988. Then came fire, literally. In March of 1990, on his farm, a diesel tank exploded, leaving Coetzee badly burned. Most men would have taken that as a final bell. But 3 years later, Coetzee treated it like another round. He came back, fighting twice in Sacramento, already talking about 3 tune-ups before taking a shot at champion Riddick Bowe. But momentum slipped again. By the time Coetzee re-emerged 4 years later, he was both fighter and promoter, heavier by nearly 40 pounds and grayer around the temples. One comeback bout led him to Iran Barkley, the ex-middleweight champ. At 41, Coetzee had little left to offer. Barkley stopped him in 10. Outside the ropes, Coetzee tried to make a mark as a promoter, signing a few South African prospects, including Gary Ballard. But the money bled faster than the profits came in. After a few shows, he threw in the towel, the business side proving as cruel as the sport itself. If the ring gave him punishment, his country gave him something closer to redemption. In 2003, South Africa's government awarded him a medal for his role in nation building through sport. For a white fighter who had opposed apartheid and later befriended Nelson Mandela, he stated that it was a moment that mattered as much as any belt. By 2022, there was a film about his life in pre-production called Against All Odds. UFC star Dricus du Plessis was slated to play Coetzee. On January 12, 2023, just weeks after being diagnosed with lung cancer, Gerrie Coetzee died at 67. His legacy was more than broken hands and late-round knockouts. He was a boxing champion who walked the uneasy line of representing South Africa abroad while rejecting the ugliness of apartheid at home. He stood as a reminder that sometimes the hardest fights aren't waged between the ropes, but in the spaces where life demands a different kind of strength. I feel I am fighting for everybody, black and white, Coetzee said. What makes me happy is for black, brown, and white people to accept me as their fighter.